Hi guys, and welcome to Hillside Talks. I'm Maria, and in this little corner of the world, I talk about intentional living, simplifying, how we deal with tech, everything about our lifestyle, and how we slow it down and make it a bit more purposeful maybe. And at the heart of intentional living, to me, is trying to find peace in my life. Gratitude for who and what I have in my life, and overall purpose in this life that God has given me on this planet. And a big part of this journey to me has been learning how much power gratitude has over my mind and my heart. So let's explore gratitude today. In the early summer, I did an episode called What is Enough? And I'll leave a link in the description down below. But I talked about how contentment, gratitude, and joy are very closely linked. And the meaning of contentment can be summed up to this: to be satisfied with my current life and have inner peace regardless of the circumstances. Circumstances in the world at this point in time are not exactly peaceful. There are so many things going on, and let's be honest, it's hard and it's chaotic, it's infuriating, it's unstable, and can very naturally cause some mental reactions. Does that mean we just give in to it? No, because there are always good things in our lives too. There's always things or people to be grateful for, and what we focus on will grow. Let me give you a few examples. Like during COVID, if you focused on the potential risk of viruses while grocery shopping, it could very possibly cause a panic attack because everything was so intense and focused on avoiding the risk. On a lighter note, if you decide to focus on a specific color all day, I guarantee that you'll start to see that color everywhere. What we focus on will grab our attention even more, taking up more space in our consciousness. It's here to help us know that while we don't choose our circumstances, we can choose what we focus on. And being able to choose gives us back a sense of freedom. In the book Here and Now, I have it right here, looks like this, Henry Nouwen tells a story of his friend who is so full of joy even though there's so much bad stuff going on around him. And he would always be talking about the sun, how amazing the sun was. But Henry Nouwen only saw the clouds. And he writes, "My friend's joy is contagious. The more I'm with him, the more I catch glimpses of the sun shining through the clouds. Yes, I know there is a sun, even though the skies are covered with clouds. While my friend always spoke about the sun, I kept speaking about the clouds until one day I realized that it was the sun that allowed me to see the clouds. Those who keep speaking about the sun while walking under a cloudy sky are messengers of hope, the true saints of our day." He's being very honest. The clouds are very real, but focusing on the sun gives him a new perspective. Back probably 13 years ago, I started listing 3 things every day that I was grateful for. And most of the time, it would just be in bed right before I would go to sleep, and sometimes I would rope in Morton as well. And this was back when I was experiencing burnout and financial stress. So the situation was not exactly conducive to a relaxed mind and a lot of gratefulness. But no matter how crappy the day had been, I could always manage to find at least 3 things that I was grateful for and things that have been good during that day. And part of the story, and to keep it realistic here, is that some days those grateful things were very, very small things, like a ray of sunshine hitting my face just when I needed it, or the texture and taste of a very juicy raspberry. But I would also start to notice that almost every day, one of those 3 points would almost always have to do with people's random acts of kindness. So I started noticing that more as well. And doing this just let the good things in my life step to the front of my mind. It also helped me put my problems into the right proportions. I would realize that I had so much to say thank you for, and most days it would be easy to name more than 3 things. I would just list as many as I had. It might seem insignificant, but tiny drops every day over a long period will add up and have a very real impact on our mindsets. And as much as I love the lived experience, this is not just my experience. This has been very thoroughly backed up by science over the past 10 years. So many studies has looked at how gratitude and practicing gratitude intentionally shapes our brain, how it affects our hormones, our physical and mental health. And just listen to this. In hundreds of studies, practicing gratitude has been found to improve health, happiness, and longevity, improve immune system, lower blood pressure, improve sleep quality, and because our stress levels drop, our body heals. A study at UC Berkeley also found that people had stronger emotional strength, stronger relationships, and better physical health. There was a study done on people writing thank you letters, and it was actually shown to reduce symptoms of depression and anxiety, even for months after that research program ended. It trains our brain to see the positives more automatically, and it gives us so much when life is hard. And Dr. Robert Emmons, who's kind of a specialist in doing research in this area, he says that gratitude is an indispensable tool for resilience, in choosing to see the hope, the silver lining, and what is still good around us. And that is exactly my experience. By training my brain to focus on the small little things that are good in my life, I can cope better with the big things going on around me, which I can do very little about, but it helps me cope with it. There's also a Brown and Wrong study that shows that practicing gratitude enhances the production of the serotonin and dopamine neurotransmitters. And this is very important because something like dopamine is what is missing in the brain if you have a disease like Parkinson's. It regulates our stress hormones. It also states that it wires and fires new neural connections to the bliss center. And I'm assuming that means that we become happier. The bliss center sounds like a happy place. And finally, it helps with cognitive restructuring, which in Maria language would be it helps us learn and it helps us express our experience better. I find all of this so uplifting because I love my own and value my own lived experience. And it's great to see the data that actually confirms all of this. We can't be surprised that hard things happen in our lives. That is very expected. Crap is going to happen. But in my experience, choosing to move my focus to gratitude, choosing to focus on what God has given me, these little gifts, they become bigger. Sometimes gratitude comes natural. Other times it doesn't. But it's still important to practice, to flex that muscle, to stop and notice what is good, to decide for 5 minutes to give your attention wholeheartedly to the gifts God has given you. And when hard times come and weighing very heavily on the one side of the scale, putting gratitude on the other scale is going to help bring balance. It centers our mind and gives a lot of joy. Since I've practiced this for years, my muscles have gotten stronger. And I've shared before that I feel like I can get quite a lot of joy out of very small moments. And I am sure that that only happens because I've continually chosen to focus on gratitude. We need to train how to shift our focus and intentionally set our hearts back to God by giving thanks. The Bible tells us in 1 Thessalonians that we are to give thanks in all circumstances. In all circumstances, not for all circumstances. He knows that when we set our focus back on Him, we center back on who is most important, and the rest will flow from there. And of course, we all live in different circumstances. I'm very aware of that. Some of you guys are facing some very, very hard times. And my life is not always easy peasy either. And that is very important for me to get out there, because it's so easy to sit and watch a video or listen to someone online and think they have everything figured out. They have the perfect life. I love my life. And I have some very real challenges with my health that will probably never go away. But this practice has taught me to the bottom of my soul that there are always good things, good people, and beautiful nature to be grateful for. And I'm going to keep choosing to focus on the sun. Focus on God, knowing that the sun is there, even with a few clouds or an entire thunderstorm. The sun is what makes it possible for me to even see the clouds. And today, I am grateful for you listening or watching on YouTube. I am grateful for the 1 hour I got of extra cuddle time with Max this morning because he woke up super early. And now for the final question. What are 3 things that you are grateful for right now, today? Think about it or share it in the comments below. I would really love to connect with you guys. See you guys. Bye.